I'm not muted here. Okay, cool. Hi, this is my first time shooting a Zoom video, Zoom screen share. My name is Renee, and my hope today is to show you how I set up my first CLI demo project for Flatiron part-time online 071509 cohort, one cohort for all. So the first thing I did, besides reading and rereading the Learn project, was to try to figure out like what tools I needed. I noticed that what happened at first was I was so bogged down with this bundler gem create that now it's laughable. But there were steps and there were files and folders and this folder structure, and it was so much easier when Learn just shows you how the folder structure is, and it's presented to you, unless you like maybe create one new Ruby file in a library folder. So anyways, so I had to kind of discover that whole process, and although it was new, it was a good one. What happened at first was I was so bogged down with this bundler gem create that now it's laughable. But there were steps and there were files and folders and this folder structure, and it was so much easier when Learn just shows you how folder structure is. Things in the folders were right, the way the name of my project, or like Betty, but outside of this folder, I found other files so that were my original files. And then these folders that you see here, bin in library and such, they mostly came in empty. So my files were here, very cool, but what I needed to do is to get my files in there, and then it was like, oh, guess you're gonna have to work that out. And so it created a folder structure of another project. Just in case, put it in my mission RD folder. Put it in there. I'll probably have to edit this part out. Sorry. To create my scraper Nokogiri scraping content with, and the content was no longer show you one these menus. Was originally that you'd be able to choose maybe before you get to this list, like choose the state. Not possible to separate these names, and everywhere else they were separated great throughout the scraper and throughout other scrapers too. But for some reason, went to bed and woke up and it was gone. So, or it was like a totally different part of the web page or something. So once I got this going, I had an interesting experience with just how to get it stripped down. Again, here I'm using strip twice because I couldn't get rid of that space, and there was a lot of spaces. And then there was issues with there were no spaces, and I tried to do some experimenting with the reg expressions, and it didn't. It worked for some things, it did not work for others, so I had to make a choice, cut my losses kind of thing. But one of the things I learned from Z that was good was that occasionally the content was there, but the way it came in, it was in the next element, or items in the array having 4 elements, they would only have 3. So it had to do something that would allow it to, if there's nothing there, then go get the element right before it and include that, and just to keep the naming the same. But this is initially the file that kicks off the CLI and looks for the CLI class in the modules. All the files have the same module, so it looks for the CLI class. And using namespacing is cleaner and neater to make sure you get the right files doing what you want. In this case, I could have used start definition or a call definition, and it works. So welcome to the Tor Like Betty bundle gem Should you decide to use this bundle gem among your fabulous programs, know that you'll be connected with some really great ideas if you're a performing artist and wish to tour. To run the program, we have a bin command that we're using because we're calling on the bin file to run the main Tour Like Betty file that I have up here, and that's what initiates this CLI. So once you run the CLI, start from the bin file. It brings up a list, says, welcome to Tour Like Betty. Welcome to the Tour Like Betty app. This program is here to help music performers tour like a pro. These venues are highly recommended for your next tour. And a potential bandmate or band manager, whatever, is going to look toward Betty Levette, who's named in the app name, and know that if they're looking for blues or jazz venues, well, then this would be a great model of touring to engage your new artist on. So it asks, it recommends these venues, for their next tour, and then asks them to enter a number from the list, and for a list for additional venue details. And then here you can see the colorizing in play. Let's say I want to find out more about the Narrow Center for the Arts because I've been wanting to play there forever as an artist, and I'll hit number 3 as my choice. And so I'll hit enter, and now I'll be able to see that the venue number 3, Narrow Center for the Arts, gotta check that one, it's new, is located in Fall River, Massachusetts. If available, additional details may include other talents, successful performances, or the best time of the year for you to book that venue. And so here there was no additional information, so you can see that my nil clause is working nicely there. And then, of course, enter the number from the list because you can still see the list. Or start a new search. To start a brand new search, enter Y. If I choose yes, I get sent back to the list, which is nice. And here we'll choose another one, Beale Street Musical Festival, or maybe I'll choose a club. Let's choose Milton number 4. Milton number 4 is a venue located in Hudson, New York. Below available details, and those are Club Helsinki Hudson. And then let's say if you're done with it, you hit Q and it kicks you out, says goodbye and break a leg. And so that's my project.